This morning, we're going to be demonstrating a pair of Flintlock muskets for you, as our Spanish soldiers would have carried here around the year 1740. That is the year that we are portraying. That was the time period when the fort came under siege for the second time. Now, the Flintlock musket we're going to be demonstrating for you was the firearm of the day. A musket means it is a muzzle-loading weapon. That means that the powder shot is going to go down the barrel, the front of the weapon. The flintlock refers to the firing mechanism of the weapon. Here you have a small piece of stone called flint, held by a metal jaw. When the trigger is pulled, that is going to come forward, strike a piece of steel, creating a spark. That spark is going to be what ignites the gunpowder and hopefully sends the musket ball off towards its target. We say hopefully because there are a number of things that can go wrong. If there's high wind, if there's too much humidity, that can cause problems for these weapons that would have to be addressed. And that's something that was historically accurate as well. Now, a well-trained soldier in the 18th century is going to be able to load and fire their musket in about 20 seconds. The average time, of course, being much slower, of 30 seconds. Extraordinarily well-trained soldiers, and I have personally witnessed this, are able to load and fire their muskets in approximately 6 seconds. So much slower than modern firearms, but not quite as slow as we often think. And these muskets were integral to the defense of the Castillo de San Marcos. If you've been around the gun deck up here, you might have noticed that in certain places we have steps leading up to the walls. Those were known as firing steps. Those were there so that the soldiers could get above the height of the crenellations of the wall to fire down at any attacking enemies. Now, what we're going to do for you this morning is we're going to demonstrate these muskets. We're going to fire 2 shots. The first shot, we're going to go through the entire drill manual as it existed in 1740. This was the method that the soldiers used to train. They had to memorize every single individual step that was required to load and fire their weapons. This is going to be much slower as we go through each of those steps. The second shot that we're going to do for you, we're going to simulate battlefield conditions. Because of course on the battlefield, you don't have time to go through every individual step, wait for the order to be given before you move on to the next thing. It's also very loud, so hearing all of those orders is quite difficult. So the second one will be much quicker as we simulate how they would have done things in battle. Now, a couple of quick safety things to go over for you today. These muskets are going to be loud. They're not terribly loud. That being said, if you have a hearing aid or similar device, I'd highly recommend turning it down or taking it out of your ears. Also, we will warn you before we fire the muskets each time. There will be plenty of warning. So there's no need at this point to stand here with your hand in your ear, covering yourself like this. That's going to get really uncomfortable after a while. Your ear is going to get sore. Your arm is going to get tired. So I promise you we'll warn you before you fire. You don't need to do that. The more important thing to keep in mind, the walls of the Castillo de San Marcos here will be turning 350 years old this October. It is also almost 40 feet down to the bottom. Go down over there towards where that flag is. Those folks over there, they have to make sure that we don't use in the demonstration. And that goes for anybody who's not in the first couple rows right here. That's my recommendation. Last thing that you all need to know, I myself am a park ranger. That means that I work here at the Castillo de San Marcos. This is my job. The other gentlemen with me up here are 2 of our wonderful volunteers. They're giving us their time and their expertise so that we can put on this demonstration for all of you. So let's go ahead and give them a round of applause, and we'll get ourselves started. Once the demonstration is finished, we'll make the weapons safe, then we'll take down the ropes. Anybody who wants to come over and get a closer look and take pictures will be more than able to do so. Thank you.
It's okay, do it.
Stop.
Don't move, man. I'm gonna close.
Claro, atención. ¡Vamos, Solambro! Should we fire that way or that way?
Oh no, no way.
Derecha, media, volta. Mano derecha, alarma. Return las armas. Pongo la llave en el fiador. That's half clap. Lip in la piedra. Wipe the flint. Soap on the cazolet. Blow out the pan. Saca el cartucho. Slap your cartridge box. Yeah, 250 men doing it at the same time. It's going to echo across the battlefield. Abre la cartucho. Tear open the cartridge. Soldiers had to have 14. Put the top to it, same plane, be able to tear it. Save it. Put some powder in the pan. Sear in the cazzoletta. Close the pan. Pass on las armas al lado izquierdo. Weapon to the left side. Meten el cartucho en cañón. Load with cartridge.
6 minutes already.
Saca la baqueta. Up comes the ramrod. Alta la baqueta. Corta la baqueta. Meten la baqueta en el cañón. Attack it. Turn la baqueta. Alta la baqueta. Corta la baqueta. Meten la baqueta en su lugar. You don't put it away, you can't fire again. You have to push that ball all the way down. Vamos, Alejandro. La mano derecha al arma. Altas las armas. Reseten las armas. Repairing las armas. That's full drop. Apunte. Point. Cover your ears. Disparate. Turn las armas.
Get him?
Armas suspensión.
Done?
Old school. And then while they're shooting at you, you have to load it again.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of
better be
soldiers
accurate.
dying.
They just did is check to make sure all of that round was gone before they load a second one in. So now they're going to use the battle drill. Mano derecha las armas. Return las armas. Now this is a position, if they had just fired and they drop it down, they'd go right ahead into this next command, which is to load and put it on their shoulder. You want to do the last few commands so that everyone's firing about at the same time. You're bound to hit something that way. Cargan!
It's be very stressful under pressure.
Rate of fire is determined by the slowest soldier. You want to all fire together.
You're gonna be dying quick because you're gonna be
Mano
loaded.
derecha las armas. Retiren las armas. Preparing las armas. Apunte. Cover your ears. Disparate. Fire. All right. Out of 4 shots, we had only 1 misfire. That's not too bad. He's going to try to find out what happened. The steel could be dirty. The flint could be loose. It might not hit properly, or the sparks could have even been blown away by the wind. So he's going to check his weapon, see what's wrong, and try again. Now, if the powder in the pan had flashed, but it didn't go off, that means he had that little vent hole clogged, and he would go ahead and take it over. All right.
Ready to clear misfire.
Presente las armas. Cover your ears. Disparate.
Misfire.
That's 2. Got 1 more try. Box service rolls. And you notice he's holding it up there for a 10 count. It's possible the sparks hit the powder in the pan, and it has a hang fire where it doesn't exactly go in right away and set off that charge. So if you bring it up here and do it, and try to work on it up here, down here, it's going to blow up in your face. So for safety, we always do a 10 count before we go ahead and try to clear it. And we also carry a tool. If something happens and it's not sharp enough, the flint has gotten dull, you can tap on the end of the flint and it would actually sharpen it a little bit and get another shot out of it. The easy fix later on is just to replace the flint and put another one in. lot of the flints that have come around to be used actually came over from the Spanish back in the 1700s. Barrels and barrels of flints. There's no flint in Florida.
I have to go back.
Let's go now. Let's go.
Right now he's tapping on the flint, trying to make it a little bit sharper to make sure. He's not getting a very good spark. Also, while he was doing that, he ended up getting the powder out of the pan, so if he was tapping on it and the flint might have gone down in there, it would have gone